And this is kind of a dirty little secret that a lot of divorce attorneys know. When you have two parents and each parent has, you know, a couple kids, some kids, when they get married, it's called a blended family, right?
Yes, all of the things.
And the mother got two kids, and she meets this guy, and the guy has, you know, a couple kids.
Brady Bunch.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Kids in there they are always stepbrothers and stepsisters. They all the time once they reach puberty. All the time. No one ever talks about it.
Right, because you're bringing strangers around each other.
Yes, when they hit puberty,
that are that age.
These stepbrothers.
Man, I ain't never been spanked by a man. I ain't never had a hug from a man. I ain't never heard a man say, "I'm proud of you."
I wanted a daddy so
bad. It was all mama. A mother's love is not sufficient enough for a boy. He have to have some type of male love, and it has to be consistent. So that aspect of just growing up with that missing piece of a male figure in your life, naturally, you seek out to fill that void away from your mother's home. The things that your mother tell you to do don't make sense amongst boys. Now, I ain't never seen a man come out my mother's bedroom, but she had boyfriends. Some of the most gangsters come from hoe mamas, street mamas, gang. You know the mamas we call G mamas.
Yeah.
Or they come from very loving women. Both my brother and I caught murder cases when we was children. My brother been gone over 30 years for a murder he committed when he was 17. You would think we came from the streets, but we come from a loving mother. But we were just trying to overcompensate. I grew up believing that going to prison was a part of being a man, and I want to be a superman. And in the black community, nobody is more of a superman than a guy who's been to prison. That's why most of us who leave our single mother home have to go to prison and go meet some kind of man in prison. Say, "Now look out, little homie. Let me show you how to throw your right hand. Now look out. Let me show you how to block that punch." He didn't know that before he got to prison. All the things that our mother tell us to do does not help us to be better men. As a matter of fact, the things that our mothers try to raise us to be, she's raising us to be the kind of men she wouldn't even date.
That's the truth of it. And what I try to get single moms to understand is that wanting to have someone to emulate, it cannot be you. Because what they struggling with and what they trying to figure out, man, can only be taught by a man.
I told her, you know your daughter, she tried to make a move on me, like, because we was all in the room, and one day they jumped in the bed, because the two little ones was just playing with me, like, Corey. But the other one did this, she threw me and did this, shit. And I said, oh shit, what the was that? And I told her mother, and her mother, you know the first thing her mother said? "So do you like her?" I was like,
oh wow. 19 million children, more than, well, we're approaching half at this particular point. This is in 2017. Live without a father in the home, okay? What does that lead to? Kids that grow up without a father, 4 times as much to be raised in poverty, 7 times likely to be a teenage pregnancy victim. More likely to experience child abuse. That's normally because potentially the single mother, the co-parent, has moved in another man into your domicile, into her domicile. Okay? Behavioral problems.
It starts in the house. It starts in the home. It's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, "Yeah, they're little yummies." I said, "Who?" He said, "Little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy." Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer. Wow. And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old. Wow. Who's doing life now, a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system. The system is rigged, but why? All the more reason not to help it.
I give up every trophy that I've won just to be somebody's son.